Comrades, we want to say good night to our good folks who are listening on the internet. Those who are streaming in North America, in Miami, in New York, in Canada, in England, in Dubai, they say too. All over the world, they're streaming and watching. The people in the VIs, the people in Tortola, our fans who are tuning into Labour. Labour massive! Labour massive! Give them a round of applause. They love Labour. They love Labour. Comrades, we want to also welcome those our nationals who are out there to come home to St. Kitts for the music festival. Music festival at the end of June. Last week in June we had the music festival. Last week in June is the music festival. Comrades, on Wednesday of this week, they'll be announcing all the acts. And what I'm told that a lot of local people will be participating. I want you to big up the local people who will be participating. Give them a round of applause. They are getting the exposure. They are getting to know people from all over the world. We want to give them that exposure. Comrades, Labour is a party of inclusion. Labour welcomes everybody because Labour is big. Labour is the party of unity. Wherever you come from, we believe in you. You can come from Guyana. You can come from Jamaica. Wherever you come, Labour open your arms and say, come home to Labour. Come home to Labour. It's only them two jokers who want to run away from Labour. Let them go where they're going. Let them go where they're going. So we welcome the Guyanese, we welcome the Jamaicans, we welcome the Dominicans, we welcome you, wherever you come from, we welcome you. Mis Amigos de Santo Domingo, we welcome you also. ¿Cómo están? Buenos noches. Yes, cutie, you're learning the Spanish, man. You're learning the Spanish, cutie. Somebody teach you in a cutie. Comrades, we want to also apologize to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is off island, but Labour is massive, whether the Prime Minister here or the Prime Minister there. That is how Labour operates. This party belongs to you. This party belongs to Labour. So people can go and Labour will still function. Labour will still function and Labour will still sound good. Because all the speakers tonight, they were all excellent. Give them a round of applause. All of them were excellent. All who came on, by the way, we welcome Terry, he was good. Vince here was good. All of them was good. Give them another round of applause. That's what Labour is all about. Wherever we go, we have new voices. Comrades, we can talk about that next week in East Basseterre. East Basseterre going to be good next week. I want to welcome everybody to East Basseterre next week. This week coming, sorry. Up there going to be sweet. Up there going to be good. We're going to show you how we deal with them up there in East Basseterre. Comrades, I want you to help me to welcome to the microphone our next speaker, the minister responsible for education, the man who is trying and doing his best to improve the quality of education in this country, the man who, despite all what they try to do to mash up the Basseterre High School and play politics up there in the Basseterre High School. We now got on the manners now. We're building the new structures. Everything repairing. Thanks to Nigel Carty. Comrades, some of the folks who were once here with us try to use that as a political toy to undermine the government. Work with people up there trying to undermine the government. But when we hear about them, we put it on the good correction. Nigel got it on the good manners now. I want you to help me to the microphone. The Honorable Nigel Carty, our Minister of Education.
We're ready for the road.
I see people dressed in costume, food and drink being consumed, young people walking up, old people jumping up, woman with child in hand, chipping behind a costume van. I see big truck keep coming down, kicking off heavy sound. Soca is all I hear, right from the start of day. All color, creed and class, moving together, making mass. Oi, 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 something's happening, and it's so exciting.
Well, this meeting looking good. The meeting feeling good. Well, Labour beg tonight. And I feeling confident. If you're full of confidence, say full confidence in Labour.
I got confidence.
Because you know, them fellows' time done gone. The 12th of December last year was their day. They say it was the day. The 12th of December last year, the Labour government should have fallen already and they should have been in office. But somebody fooled them. Somebody fooled them. And the same man who tell you about the scorpion, now the scorpion biting the tail. Some conduct tell us about the scorpion. When he told me I went home and researched on the internet that a scorpion and a frog were on the stream of a river, the bank of a stream. And the scorpion came to the frog and said, hop onto my back and I will take you across the stream. The frog said, but you gonna sting me because all I hear about the scorpion is that scorpion sting. Said, no man, I ain't gonna sting you. You are my friend. You and I go way back. Frog hopped on. Halfway across the river, scorpion sting the frog. Said, well, how come you tell me you ain't gonna bite me? He said, it's my nature. I can't help. And just like how the fool inside right now will tell you, when Pam ready for them, you're gonna lick them in their tail. Pam them say,
Some will hate you, pretend they love you now. Then behind they try to eliminate you.
so I tell you, when Pam finished with them, Ghost told you a while ago, Pam people came to his office asking him to join with them to form unity government. Fooling them. Want unity when they can't find themselves in government on their own. Only that time they want unity. Coming fooling two people in Labour. And they fell for the trap. Fell for the trap. It reminds me of the story of the dog who was swimming across a river with a big bone in the mouth. Look down and see another dog with a bigger bone. Not recognizing it was its own reflection. Drop the bone and try to go after the next bone. That is what has happened. They thought that they would have been in office the 12th of December last year. Fool themselves. So they're walking around now, losing weight. Losing weight. You look at them, you ask if something wrong with them. They're losing weight. Is it sin? Their sins which they have committed. Because I talk the truth over in mansion, the man say he gonna sue me. Say he gonna sue me. And they say, what you gonna sue Carty for? Carty talk the truth. He said the lap thing wasn't true. When the man pressed him, he said, it only happened once. The lap thing happened only once. And so, He said, you're going to sue me. The fella said, well, okay, apart from that, where you going to sue him for? So I'm going to sue him for everything because of my name, Susan.
Breathe for me, yeah, breathe for me.
But I know that you are going to go forward with Labour. You ain't going back. You ain't no man and no woman who the back. Tim and the back.
Man to man is so unjust.
And so, in the court a few weeks ago, he and Sam and Sean Richards and Hamilton sitting down on the other side. All the ministers of government on the other side. These two people who said they were part of Labour, finding every opportunity to drag Labour in the court. Every opportunity to drag Labour into the court. Trying to divert the attention of your Labour government from serving you and doing what is right to advance the cause of the people in the country. Look across there. He got his hand across Sean. Sean attack all sort of things in the ear.
Give a hug.
Comrades, I want to say to you tonight that I am so proud to be Labour tonight. I am confident in Labour. Confident in Labour. And I am confident in Labour, as Ghost told you, as the speaker before me told you, because of what Labour stands for. Three things I want to speak about tonight. I am confident and I'm proud to be Labour because of what Labour stands for. Number one, I am proud to be Labour because of what Labour stands for. The second thing, I am proud to be Labour, confident to be Labour, because of the track record of performance of the Labour Party. Proud of the track record, the performance of the Labour Party. Incomparable. None can compare. And the last point I want to speak on, I am proud to be Labour because Labour is the only single party, the only single political organization that has the ability to win the government in the next election.
This government good. Wait, this government nice. Good government.
And that is the truth. The reason why Pam walking around looking unity with people who they don't cuss out and abuse is because they know they can't form a government after the next elections. Walking looking unity. Pam knows nothing about unity when they can form a government on their own. They know nothing about unity when they can form a government on their own. And they know that the only party which after the next elections can form a government here in St. Kitts-Nevis is the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party. Big up yourself, Labour people. You're on the side of right. You're on the side of winning. And you are on the side of confidence. And so what does the Labour Party stand for? The Labour Party stands for the old, the young, the middle-aged, the in-between. The Labour Party stands for the poor and the non-poor. The Labour Party stands for people who are born here and people who are not born here. That is what the Labour Party stands for. And I am proud of that party. Proud of that organization. The Labour Party has a special heart for the poor people, the masses, the downtrodden people in the country. That is the foundation of the Labour Party. This Labour Party was formed 81 years ago in 1932 to help poor people who were spat upon, who were despised by those who had money and power and property. And so, This is the Labour Party. This is the Labour Party that fought for people to be able to vote adult suffrage. This is the party that fought for the right of women to take the seat of any position in government or in the private sector. This is the party that has done that. This is the party that has fought for comprehensive and universal secondary education in the country. So when people come trying to fool Labour people went to school. Labour people had access to education. And they can't fool you. They can't fool you. Doesn't matter how they try. That is the Labour Party that we are talking about.
We are the champion, yes, we are the champion.
And so, comrades, friends, I want you to recognize that you are on the bandwagon of the right party, the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party. This is the party that will open up a national health scheme for every Tut, Mun and Sam in the country. Every Tut, Mun and Sam in the country will have access to health care in this country. This is the party in government that will ensure that workers on the industrial estate will get a gratuity after several years of service in those factories up there. Put your hands together for Labour. And lastly, on that point, the Labour Party is the party that believes that leaders are called to make sacrifices. Leaders have been called to make sacrifices and to not seek their own ends. To not seek their own ends, but to work to advance the cause of people in the country. This is the party that believes in that. And I want to end on that point, on that part of my presentation. The other point I want to make, comrades, is that the Labour Party, as I said before, is the only party that is capable of taking the government after the next elections. And those who have sought to wrest power away from the Labour Party are people who have their own personal agendas. Dwyer Astafan, who started this whole thing, I said to people, if it's one mistake Denzil Douglas made as leader of this party, is to have brought Dwyer Astafan into the fold of Labour in 1993. Dwyer Astafan was a PAM when I was going to school. Walk into Blackney Hotel on Church Street. Dwyer Astafan was down there abusing every Labour candidate. The man was a failure in his law practice because all he could do is fill out paper. He can't go to court. Dwyer Astafan can't take a case to court. Wasn't educated to do that. Went all the way to England and Canada to study and came back as a lawyer and can't go to court. And so when Dwyer Astafan recognizing that his law practice was failing in 1993, he sought to get onto the Labour bandwagon to get into government. And since Dwyer has been in the Labour Party, he has been trying to undermine Denzil Douglas. When people told me in 2000 that Dwyer Astafan was saying he won the biggest constituency and he took out Simmons, so he should be Prime Minister, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. He said he won the biggest constituency. Won the biggest constituency. And defeated Simmons. So he should be the Prime Minister of the country. From that day until this day, Dwyer Astafan has not given up his ambition to unseat Denzil Douglas and the Labour Party from office. And you better understand that. You better understand that. Dwyer Astafan is motivated by grudge. The colleagues behind me can tell you, whenever certain business persons brought their submissions before the cabinet, Dwyer Astafan would pull out his calculator, punch in his numbers, and say these people making too much money. This law firm making too much money. This small businessman making too much money. That's Dwyer Astafan. That's Dwyer Astafan. I want you to recognize that Dwyer Astafan's father ran against the Labour Party in the time of Bracha. Dwyer Astafan is a PAM. Never has been a Labour. For all the years I have been a member of the National Executive of the Labour Party, I have not seen Dwyer Astafan once at the executive meeting because he can't sit with the ordinary people to discuss the affairs and business of the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party. Can't do it. Too big, out of place. And Dwyer Astafan has been obsessed for a long time with controlling the SIDF. Everything in the man's mouth, the SIDF, the SIDF, the SIDF. Ricky can tell you, Dwyer Astafan brought a man here from Canada in 2007, 2008, wanting the man to be in charge of the SIDF. We were at that time thinking about formulating the SIDF to get money to do the programs, to support poor people, to build houses, and to support small businesses. Dwyer Astafan brought a man all the way from Canada. Nobody know who he man be. Dwyer wanted the man to be in charge of the SIDF because he got some connection with the man. He got something work out with the man. Dwyer Astafan is about himself. But I want to come to Sam Conda. I want to come to Sam Conda. Because Sam Conda, after having served as a member of parliament for the people of West Basseterre for 24 long years, riding on the back of the Labour people in the constituency for the last 24 years. Sam Conda is the oldest man in the cabinet as of when he retired from the cabinet. He is the oldest man in the cabinet, was at the time he resigned. And the question must be asked, what it is that anybody could have done Sam Conda after having had the blessings of the Labour people in constituency number 3 for so long. Personal grudges. They are long. They want more than they deserve. And the man not got no capability. The man can't think for himself. Can't think for himself. Sleeping in cabinet all the time. I want to tell you something. That Sam Conda has become the biggest of PAM in the last few months since he has left the government. I would never have imagined that Consi Mitchum could have set up Sam Conda to try to take away Val Morris land. Val Morris, who lent Sam Conda the building up there on the main road. All these years, Consi tell him, you could get the land for yourself because you have been on the land for a long time. That is PAM thinking, classical PAM thinking. Nobody think like that but PAM people. Nobody. After all these years, Val Morris allowed him to use the piece of land up there. Free of cost. Free of cost. He turned around, let Consi tell him that he could take away Val Morris land. Dirty. Grudge. Out of order.
No good for nothing, bastard. Where I say, all you better mark their faces.
Comrades, Sam Conda really has made a fool and a publisher of himself. He has made a fool and publisher of himself. And I'll tell you why I say that. The man was deputy prime minister in a government for 17 and a half years. 17 and a half years. Did nothing in government. And the people respected Sam enough to say to him, although we are dissatisfied with your leadership in West Basseterre, we will continue to support you. Continue to support you. You ain't doing nothing. Doing nothing. But we will continue to support you because you are Labour. Sam Conda, Timothy Harris, Lindsey Grant, Sean Richards, John L. Powell went to a meeting over by Al Powell recently. And they were around the table discussing and negotiating. Who is going to be leader? Who is going to be deputy leader? Tim Harris said, he going to be leader. Lindsey Grant said, over my dead body. Sean said, not in this organization. Not in this unity government. Sam Conda said, I will not be superseded by anybody. I will have to be deputy prime minister. What the guy say? Lindsey Grant get up and say, but what you must think people stupid? Only use where use are you? These guys have been fooled to the hilt and they haven't recognized it as yet. So Lindsey Grant say, well, if Tim is going to be prime minister and you are going to be deputy prime minister, well, what are we here for? This is about us. This is about us. And so, Lindsey Grant got up from the table. Eugene got up from the table. They said, no, we recognize why Douglas and they had problem with you all. You all greedy, want everything for you all self. Greedy.
Three of them come like three blind mice.
People of number 3. Comrades of constituency number 3. You have been a blessing to Sam Conda and his family. But Sam Conda has turned around and kicked you in your behinds. The only stable job that Sam Conda had in his 62 years of life was the job you gave him when you elected him to parliament. The only stable job Sam Conda had was the job you gave him when you elected him to parliament in 1989 and elected him into government in 1995. Had nothing. Nothing. What he has, you gave him. The experiences he had traveling the world, you gave him that. And now he's turned around and kicked you in your behind. And you must make Sam Conda pay when election day comes. You must make him pay. You must make him pay when the election comes.
There's a traitor among us. There's a traitor among us. Traitor among us, he said to them.
But I couldn't believe that Sam Conda could have gone the extent to which he has gone. To turn his back on Labour and to disrespect and disregard the founding fathers of the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party. Sam Conda came to the cabinet in 2006 and had a piece of land in front of the Cardin's home, delegated for the erection of a bust of Joseph Nathaniel France. The cabinet gave him the utmost support because he was coming for a piece of land in front of the Cardin home to erect a bust. A bust of Joseph Nathaniel France. Joseph Nathaniel France was a man born in Nevis in 1907. Came to St. Kitts at the age of 16 and served in the Labour Union and the Labour Party until he died at the age of 90-something. Served the union and the party for over 60-something, 70-something years. And cabinet identified a piece of land in front of the Cardin home to give recognition to Joseph Nathaniel France, one of our national heroes. Sam Conda came back to the cabinet in 2010 to tell the cabinet that he no longer wanted to honor Joseph Nathaniel France. He said he would take the piece of land and he would erect a bust in the honor of Dr. Connor from the church. These people have been trying to use the church, have been trying to corrupt the church to drag them into politics. Sam Conda left his church, the Moravian church, and came to the church over here in the village when he knew he wanted to play politics with the church. When Sam Conda and his wife couldn't use the church where they were, they abandoned their church and came to the church in the village. Michael Morton, Jean Conda, out there measuring up land to erect a bus for Dr. Connor. Out there, the land which had been allocated for Joseph Nathaniel France, Uncle Joe, makes me want to cry. The land which had been allocated for Uncle Joe in front of the Cardin home. Sam Conda came to the cabinet, took it away, and said he was going to erect a bust for Dr. Connor. Comrades, those of you who are from this community, those of you who are from this constituency, recognize that Sam Conda is a PAM. Sam Conda is a PAM to the hilt. And those of you who have supported him in the past must at once desert him, leave him. And soon and very soon, there will be a young man or a young woman in this constituency to represent you in Parliament when the next elections are called. Give that person your utmost support. Give that person your support. These guys are good for nothing. Good for nothing. What are some of the personal issues that Sam Conda has with the government? What are some of the personal issues? Comrades, members of the listening audience, you deserve a stable government. You deserve a stable government. You deserve a united group of people serving you in public office with one mind, with one purpose. When people come telling you that they want a marriage of convenience to get Douglas and Labour out, you must reject it. You must reject it because you deserve better. You must reject it because you deserve better. You must reject it. These marriages are marriages of convenience and not marriage of conviction. They have no conviction about what they stand for. What are some of the other personal issues? What are some of the other personal issues that Sam Conda has with the Labour Party and Denzel Douglas? Sam Conda came to the Cabinet of Ministers asking for the Cabinet to support him in getting 4 acres of land on the Kim Collins Highway for $2 a square foot. The comrades in the Cabinet said, Conda, poor people buy land for $4 and $5 a square foot. The little 4,000 square feet, the 5,000 square feet, they're paying $4 and $5. And because you are Deputy Prime Minister, you want land for $2. He said he had Deputy Prime Minister and he wanted for his son Zika. The police had asked for the same piece of land. They said they wanted a station outside of the clutter of Basseterre. They wanted a station so that they could dispatch people into St. Peter's without any difficulty. They wanted to be able to dispatch people to Frigate Bay without any difficulty into Cairn and the countryside. Some Conda say, my son Zika want that land. And because cabinet rejected it, he got up, threw down the paper, and went out the cabinet. These are the kinds of issues we have been having. Personal issues. Personal issues. Personal issues. That is what public service is all about. That can be what public service is all about. The next personal issue Cedric told you. Sam Conda and his wife have been making a whole lot of noise, saying that they want Jean Conda to get a pension from government when she was working on a contract with the hospital. People working on a contract don't get pension. A contractor come and build your house. He's not due any pension. Can't get no pension. Jean Conda got $60,000 a year and got her gratuity at the end of every year. Gratuity of 20% every single year. And because Jean Conda can't get a gratuity, can't get a pension out of government, she tells Sam, you must never rest until you get Douglas out of office. Sam, you must never rest until you get Dunzel Douglas out of office. A wicked set of people. Wicked set of people. And people must not stand for that. Ungratefulness is worse than witchcraft. Don't let people take away your bread and can't give you crackers. Don't let people take away your good Labour government and can't give you a stable government that can deliver on the services for the people of the country.
Ungratefulness, it is worse than witchcraft, my friends.
Comrades, in closing, I want to say to you that Sam Conda has told people whom he confided in, he done past 62. He got his social security pension. He has served more than 13 and a half years in government. He got his maximum pension as a parliamentarian. Sam Conda getting $4,000 from Social Security every month. And Sam Conda is due $7,000 every month as a parliamentarian when he retires. Easy so. Sam Conda got $11,000 to go home with every single month when he retires. Sam Conda say he doesn't care anymore. He could do anything. He could take on Douglas and the Labour Party. He could take on Denzel Douglas and the Labour Party. He said his child don't study in university. He said he just paid off for his mortgage 3 years ago. Sam Conda has nothing to lose. Sam Conda has nothing to lose. But Sam Conda has forgotten that you, the ordinary people of Labour, got a lot to lose. You got a lot to lose. You got your job to lose. You got your house to lose. And you got the progress of the country to lose because you're still depending on government services. Comrades, these are the personal issues that have come between Sam Conda, Tim Harris, Dwyer Safan, and the Labour Party. You must never let them take your government away from you. Never let them take your leader away from you. Never let them take your leader away from you. I want you, comrades, to recognize that you are Labour and Labour is you. Labour is depending on you. Labour is depending on you. When the elections are called, I don't know when. Maybe 2013, maybe 2014, maybe 2015. But when the elections are called, you must stand up by your elected representatives, Dr. Martin, Marcella, Ghost, Denzel Douglas, and the others, to ensure that the Labour Party is returned gloriously to office. Make sure that Denzel Douglas is again the proud leader of this country. Comrades, 3 cheers for Labour. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. God bless you. Good night. God bless you.